Hello, it's Ian, Somerset News Network. Now, this is big. But there's a fundamental problem with the whole story. Has Andrew, ex-Prince Andrew, and Peter Mandelson, with their relationship with Epstein, threatened the safety of the United Kingdom? Have we been compromised? Nobody's asking that question. They're relying on the fact that they were young girls and that they were around and they were a honeypot, and maybe Epstein may have been trying to extract information from them or use them. But we now know that Epstein had Russian girls working for him. Were they linked to KGB? I pose the question. Don't know the answer. Now, during the war, the guy that wrote James Bond was Ian Fleming. Ian Fleming, in the war, worked in a room, and it was called 101. And it was part of SOE. And they were information gathering from the Germans. Ian Fleming came up with the idea of either parachuting girls in or funding the local girls who were in the brothels to supply comfort to the German officers. We'll just put it like that. We won't say what exactly, but you know what I mean. And that's what he did. That's why James Bond was a bit of a Jack the Lad with the ladies. It's part of the scene. For information gathering. So we were doing it during the war. But it's legit during the war because you're fighting a war. Now, we're not in the war anymore. Now then, Epstein had these girls. He was handing these girls out, or was he renting the girls out to his friends, to the American elite and the British, to Andrew and Mandelson? I'm just suggesting, not saying he did, but now then, these photographs, were they then, or was it Mandelson and Andrew then liable to blackmail by Epstein? When it first broke, I was reading I was on the train going to London. I was in the civil service at the time. I did 6 years in the civil service. And I was going to London once a month for meetings. I was a union rep. And, whoops, let's get that right. That's better. And I would go up on the train and I'd get a newspaper. And I'd buy the Daily Mail or the Telegraph. Most civil servants had the Guardian. You can understand that. They're all woke, you see. So I remember reading the Telegraph, and it's got the story of Andrew. He was Prince Andrew back then, and Epstein and the girls, and that he was having affairs with underage girls. Now, in England, the age limit is 16. Virginia Giuffre, who was 17 at the time that they were supposed to have met up in London. So it was legal in England. But in America, the age limit is 18. You see why the conspiracy. So although Andrew hasn't done anything wrong, he's been given a young lady. young lady was told to look after him. We know what that means. So, what was the arrangement? Did Epstein do it to get Prince Andrew into the circle as a celebrity? To use his fame, his elite status, to elevate his status? Maybe. But it also gives him inroads to other people. Mandelson was a top politician in the Labour Party. He was one of the managers of Tony Blair and the Labour New Deal. We knew that was a load of junk. But he's still behind the scenes in government. He then stepped down as being an MP and became a member of the House of Lords. Under Blair's government, he was Minister without portfolio, which means he was in the cabinet, but wasn't given any special responsibility. He would just flick from one to the other. Then he was a business secretary. Then he met Epstein. We now know by these information that's come out is Epstein was giving him money. Why was Epstein giving Mandelson money? Is it for information? Is it for services? I pose a question. And my question is, has this country been compromised and our security is at risk because of the actions of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and Peter Mandelson? My wife's just told me that Mandelson's villa, the one that Mandelson is photographed in his undies with a nice young lady, that wasn't Meghan Markle, was it? She got the right hair for it, and she's about the right size and the skinny arms. I don't know. Her face is blacked out, so we can't say. But was that Meghan Markle? I pose a question. Greater men than me will find that out. And the internet will find it out and somebody will say it. We now know that Meghan Markle was involved with Victoria's Secrets. The guy that owned Victoria's Secrets was involved with Epstein. She was also involved with Soho House. She married Anderson, who was the manager of Soho House. Sorry, he was the management membership secretary or something from Soho House. So there was a link there. There's a photograph I've got of Meghan Markle in a yellow teeny-weeny polka dot bikini. And it says underneath that they're available from Victoria's Secrets. She'd done a series of sexy underwear. It's the best way of putting it. Lingerie, they call it, don't they? For Victoria's Secrets, before she met Harry. She met Harry, it was scrubbed, and it was no longer on the internet. I just managed to find this one photograph. We know from the photograph that Meghan was on the yacht. It has to be Meghan. On the yachts with Prince Andrew. So we know Andrew was involved with Epstein. Mandelson was involved with Epstein. Was Meghan Markle part of the scam? Is she working for the elites to find out information about the royal family and the British government? Is Meghan Markle a security risk to this government, to this country? I don't think Harry is bright enough to figure this out for himself. I think he's been duped. I don't think he understands who Meghan Markle is. And slowly the information's coming out. And it's all linked together. Soho House, Epstein, Victoria's Secrets. Like I said to start with, Ian Fleming used Good Time Girls. Is Soho House doing the same as well? Either to compromise the elite, or to blackmail them, or maybe both. And I think Mandelson, with his links to Epstein and his relationship with the hierarchy of British government, with prime ministers, is real bad news for our security. And this is what people should be looking at. The girls are a honey trap. First thing we have to do is find out if they were underage or not. If they were overage, then that comes off the table. But they are a honey trap. But why? Who gains? Epstein was making pots of money. Was he finding out information about new inventions, that things that were going to happen that he could put his money into and make money? It's all a possibility. Could he have been selling information to foreign powers? Were the Russian girls linked with the KGB? Were the CIA involved? Maybe Mossad, because we know that Maxwell, father, was a Mossad agent. So is she also a Mossad agent? I pose the question. Don't know the answer. It's a murky world. And will we? I'm not sure that we'll ever get to the truth. But there are people that will go through all these files, pick it out, and join the dots together and tell us. Anyway, I'm glad Mandelson's gone and resigned. I don't know how we kick him out of the House of Lords. He should lose that as well. Anyway, Ian, Somerset News Network, signing off. Bye-bye for now.